Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So, somewhere around 5:40, this thing says it's tomorrow, so let's ignore it. It's Sunday, the 1st of February, about 7 degrees Celsius down here. I don't know, so let's say 48 degrees Fahrenheit. So, give or take a little bit. So, where am I? Finished the wake and funeral and all for my aunt. Really very, very, very sad. This aunt is my father's sister. Been in my life for my entire life, all 56 plus years now. Actually was my godmother, so she stood up for me back in the day, and for the baptism and all that. So really very sad to lose her. For the entire time period I can remember, probably since I was 4 or 5 years old. She lived in a small town in Connecticut. So, she was always there. She never really went anywhere, so one could always count on getting in the car, going to see Aunt Joni. She always, she knew you were coming. She would bake something. There was always some fresh coffee and always some good conversation. She was always a very hyper type of person, and another one of us with attention deficit disorder. So she would be all over the place, fussing about and dancing about, and be like, "Aunt Joni, just sit down and relax." "Oh, no, gotta do." She just wouldn't stop. But she was fun. She was funny, and once again, I'm gonna miss her. But that's not the purpose of this video. This is the engine from the TRX200SX. So it is a 200cc engine. It has reverse. See the little R down there, I think, if it'll focus. Right. So 5-speed plus reverse. Obviously electric start. Rope start, though the rope starter needs a little love and attention right now. What I always like to do when I get an engine before, I go too overboard with, plans and making motor mounts and all that stuff, is I try to figure out what kind of shape it was in, or is in. So first of all, that's the shaft for the shifter, and it appears to be in very nice shape, which is a good thing. Here is, I was warned in advance that it had some case damage from throwing the chain, and I don't know if you guys could see it up there, there's a little hole. So it doesn't look horrible. Nothing that a little, JB weld wouldn't take care of. So it's just something I'm obviously going to have to keep track of the oil. Wires. These two have to do with neutral, the neutral safety switch. Then if you go through these wires, the two yellow for the alternator. So it's got a 2-phase. Green is always ground. And then you got the black and red is power for the AC, CDI. And then the last one here, blue and yellow, is the pulsar. So, given that all the wires come here, that tells me that the advance is not up on top, right? It doesn't have a centrifugal advance. The advance is down here, which is a good thing, because, or there is no advance basically, because the pulsar is fixed down here, and the flywheel doesn't throw a weight to advance the timing. So that means the advance is an electronic advance, which is really good because my portable CDI uses an electronic advance, and I don't have to mess with it. I did not ohm out any of the wiring to make sure that everything is there as it should be. I'm hoping for the best, and given that it turns over, I'm hoping that, you know, I didn't end up with a bunch of metal in there that ate the flywheel and ate the stator. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if any of you guys have a 200SX. I'm not sure why they would have put this. Well, actually, I am sure why they put the plate on, because they broke the edge of that off. I don't know. Could you guys see in there? Where am I? There you go. Yeah, I'm looking at this plate going, why the hell is this plate here? And I see why this plate is here, because they broke the cover. Right there, they broke that off the cover. Doesn't bother me that much. Anyway, so once again, shift shaft is good. The shaft for the sprocket is good. Right, turns nice. So that's all very happy. There's my reverse switch down there. It appears to move back and forth, which is good. I don't see any major damage to the case. It wasn't sitting in a pool of oil, so I'm hoping for the best. Let's do a quick compression check on it. This is my less strong battery thing. And you can see it's really less strong. But, I don't know. She came in somewhere around 130. Let's put the better one on just for a while, see if it helps. We could take a minute here. The one-handed man, right, guys? Okay, this is just dry. And she came in at 150 psi, a little more than that, 155 I guess. You can see it sinking slowly. So the compression is really pretty good. This should be relatively solid motor. He said it smoked a little bit, but some of these characters, the carburetors aren't quite right, and that helps them smoke, or you know, sometimes some oil from the top helps them smoke. But with over 150 psi of compression, I'm really hoping for the best here, right? I'm thinking this could be a real nice motor. I've had 200SXs. As a matter of fact, there's one runner in the fleet, and I think another couple in parts floating about. Yeah, one I've actually driven. That's the one out of Rome, New York. So I actually drove that one, rode it. And then there's another one that's missing the rear end, and I think there might be another one in parts, or 3/4 of another one, or because I think there's another motor in the garage, and I think there's a frame out somewhere too. My brain's all full of my hoard. Anyway, so this engine looks real promising. Tomorrow I'm gonna redo the starter or the pull starter, and then I also have to start figuring out gear ratios. I have to see in 5th gear what the gear ratio for this thing is. For every turn of the motor, how many times this thing turns and which way it turns. Well, I know it turns counterclockwise. Right. So, but I got to double check all that and get myself, and get particularly the when I'm in 5th gear, what the gear ratio is. Hopefully, the gear ratio is somewhere around 1:1, and if it is 1:1, that means in 5th gear, the golf cart, given a 12:1 gear ratio in the back, if I just 1:1 this to the rear end, that means that golf cart will be good for somewhere around 20 with my dead reckoning. 20 miles per hour with a golf cart isn't bad, and particularly that'll give me 4 gears, so it should be a real nice pull when you know I'm coming first to second and all that. I might even try to go maybe a 12 up front here and a 10 in the back. That'll up the gear ratio a little bit more. That'll get, I don't know, let's say it gets me to 25 or so. What would that be? About a 20% increase. So 24, let's say it gets me up to 24, 25 miles per hour, and then it picks up my my first, second gear speeds a little bit so that it's actually worth using them. Also pick up the reverse speed a little bit, right? It's mandatory that I'm able to go backwards, but I'd like to go backwards fast enough where it's not frustrating. So that's what I'm up to. So got the engine, got compression, looks like it's solid for the other stuff, so I'm feeling pretty good. I also got to figure out if I can put this in my 200S testing frame, if I can at least hang one of them or something to be able to try to get it started. Yeah, I was looking at the engine. There is no mount up on top, and this is where the carburetor manifold bolts. I'm wondering if these bolts aren't for an engine mount. They look solid enough to be. So those are probably engine mount bolts too. But as long as I could get one of these, preferably this one, so the engine hangs suspended in the frame, then I could at least try to get it started. This would be a piece of cake too. Just slam it into the frame. I got to dig up an intake, and I got to dig up some kind of exhaust system. But and then from a wiring point of view, all I have to do is hook one of my wires here for the CDI, hook to ground, case ground, put the spark plug on, and I'm ready to go. Oh, and speaking of spark plugs, let me set this up so that it's on a field so that you can see it. What do you guys think of this spark plug? How's that for a gap? How's that for consumed? You got no electrode left either. If this plug actually ran this engine, I would be amazed. This thing has enough spark to create lightning in the sky. Alright folks, thank you for watching and commenting and subscribing. Sorry to be busy yesterday, but you know, one has to take care of family, eh? Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up. Remember to enjoy all your days. You might get 88 years worth of days like my Aunt Joan, or you might not, so make sure you enjoy them all. Take care now, folks. Bye.